Hi, everybody. My name is Nicole Brown. I am a womb alchemist, twin flame guide, and an energy healing practitioner. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel, Soul Powered Creation. I'm so happy to be here with you. Um, I was called to come on today on Independence Day here in the Americas, July 4th, 2024, and share an important message about spirituality and freedom and how they go hand in hand. And what does it mean to be spiritual? What is spirituality? And um, and how when we embrace our spirituality, we're also creating freedom for ourselves. So Independence Day is a day that celebrates freedom from enslavement. It celebrates independence. And in owning our spirituality, we're really giving ourselves a chance to be authentic and independent, and to step out of karmic cycles and looping and patterns and behaviors that we are no longer serving our highest and best good. So there's an important, um, how can I say this? Um, Recently, one of my mentors was called out about not appearing to be spiritual, and this really struck me. And I realized that there's a lot of judgment in the communities at large, in the New Age community, and also in the religious communities. There's a lot of judgment around what it means to be spiritual and what that looks like. And so I feel like this is important to discuss this. Of course, this is my own heart wisdom that I'm sharing with you. Please always take only what resonates and leave the rest. We are all here on our own unique journeys, and we all have our own unique wisdom to share, and it either resonates with you or it doesn't. And so, for me, I personally feel and believe that um, being spiritual means that we come into awareness that we are spiritual beings having a very human experience. So, you know, part of the human experience is an emotional experience. We have a variety of emotions that we experience on a daily basis. And part of being human means that we've had a lot of experiences across all time. We are powerful co-creator beings. And so, and we're infinite and we have limitless potential. We are here creating our experiences and our reality. And so, what does that mean exactly? It means that through our inner alignment, we are creating the experiences that we have with each other and at large as a collective. And um, so So for me personally, I believe that being spiritual means can look a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. But I feel that there are some fundamental principles around being spiritual and what that means. First and foremost, I also believe that we are stepping out of the era of the guru, where we're looking for people to lead us and we're looking for people to tell us the truth and tell us what it means to be certain things, or teach us what the truth is. But when really we're stepping out of that era of seeking outside of ourselves and going within to feeling the resonance of what is true for each and every one of us. And what resonates as truth for me can resonate differently for you. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that I'm right or that you're wrong. There's no right or wrong here. There's resonance, and each of us following our own resonance. And so I'm always leery of gurus that are out there, like saying that they have the truth and they're pushing their truth on people, because um, I feel that we're in this time where we're each being led to discover our own truth from within. And so for me, I feel that it is important to lead people to their own truth, which can be different than my truth. It's just how it is. We're this all this beautiful tapestry. Each one of us is this incredible puzzle piece that fits together and completes the whole. And each piece is important and each piece is unique. It's not going to look the same as everybody else's. It's not supposed to, because you are here with your own special gifts and your own unique talents and your own wisdom to share. And so for me, being spiritual began with the realization that I am a spiritual being having a very human experience, and that I'm also a creator of my experiences through my inner alignment. And so to expand on that, what that means is that when um, I have these experiences or experience conflict in my life, it's because that conflict is mirroring to me where I am out of alignment with the truth of my being, which is love, or where I need to give myself more love. And so we have a tendency to judge ourselves for being human sometimes, and we have a tendency, at least I do, have a tendency to place very high standards on myself, and as far as how I conduct myself and how I interact with people. And I think it's important to always come from a place of high integrity. um, However, there are moments when I have very human experiences and my emotions get the best of me. And so, recently, I found myself experiencing conflict with a very close beloved family member. And I lost my composure and lost my shit, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that this is happening right now." But it triggered within me deep wounds of not being heard and of when my boundaries felt like my boundaries had been crossed, and where the boundaries of my loved ones had been crossed by unwarranted advice or by, um words that that didn't need to be spoken. And so I was really surprised with the triggering that happened within me, and my reaction instead of my response. And then I had to sit in like shame, like feeling shameful over my reaction and embarrassed. And then I was processing through so much judgment. And and then I had to come back to compassion and realize that, listen, I am just a spiritual being having a very human experience here. And so are we all. And so I can't expect myself to be perfect and handle every situation perfectly all the time. I'm going to have moments where I lose my composure. I'm going to have moments where I'm having a very human experience. But part of being spiritual is also being accountable and recognizing these moments when they happen and stepping out of the victim victimizer and stepping out of the blame. He said, she said, he did, she did, and recognizing that this experience that I just co-created with this other person has triggered something within me that needs to be seen and witnessed and held in compassion and let go of. And so I had to allow myself to step back, regain my composure, and process what had just happened. And I realized that how much judgment I was holding on myself for losing my composure, and what that means to be spiritual, and how can I call myself a spiritual person when I can't even hold it together in moments of triggering. And well, of course, this doesn't happen for me all the time. It happened. And so I realized that, we have a tendency to hold so much judgment on ourselves for having very human emotions and very human experiences. And we're co-creating this together. So had my very close beloved family member not triggered me, I wouldn't have been able to see where I was still holding this wounding within me, this anger that needed to be released, that needed to be healthily expressed and processed. So through this experience, I was able to step back and process this energy and allow it to leave my system and allow it to leave be let go of, clear from my body. And so it's important, however, that for me in being spiritual, or, you know, um, owning my spirituality, it's important to recognize in these moments of triggering that they are opportunities of growth. They are opportunities for us to heal, to grow, to see where it is within us that we are still wounded, where we still need to be loved and to be witnessed and held in compassion. So it's okay to have these moments of breakdown, because it's in these moments of breakdown that we're really breaking through. And and then after the processing occurs, then you can step forward and be accountable for the situation and rectify the situation and bring in forgiveness and healing for all. Because through our experiences, when we experience conflict in our life and we see that it's opening a wound or shining light on a wound, then when we heal that wound, we're changing the dynamic and the relationships that we have with people, the interactions, the quality of the interaction changes. And now we're not interacting with people from places of woundedness. We're interacting with people from places of wholeness, inner wholeness. And through that place of inner wholeness, we're setting that other person free, because now we don't have to co-create this conflict with each other to heal. So one of the best quotes is always, where the oh, I think it's a Rummy quote, "Where the wound is, the light enters." And so as we experience these moments of conflict and we step out of that victimizer state of, well, she said, she did, and that's what pissed me off or hurt me or whatever it is, then when we step back from that and just sit with what it is that's moving through us, what it is that we're feeling deep within us, with the pain, with the anger, with the frustration, with whatever it is, and we allow that to be witnessed and processed through ourselves, we're clearing that from our system. So now that person is freed from having to trigger that within us. And so now we change the dynamic that we have with that person or with each other. So as we give ourselves permission to heal and reclaim our power, uh, um, through stepping out of the victim victimizer role, then we are really opening ourselves up to expansion, to expanded consciousness, and to unity consciousness. Because through the recognition that we are creating this conflict with each other so that we can both heal, we're also seeing our shared humanity. We're also experiencing our shared humanity with each other. And we're coming into recognition of the oneness, the interconnection of us all. And so as I heal, you heal. And as you heal, I heal. We're all in this together. And so that is the other part of spirituality that is important to me, is coming into that recognition, that divine recognition of the oneness of all that we are, and stepping out of that ego. So ego and spiritual ego, it likes to divide. Ego is identity, ego is connected to personality, where soul is oneness. Soul is in that recognition that we are all one. We are one with the divine God. We are one with our planet. We are one with the cosmos. We are source embodied. Our bodies are deeply connected to the planet, to the cosmos, and to each other. We are more than just this flesh and bones. We are energetic beings, spiritual beings, and we are all interconnected. And so, coming into that recognition of oneness and stepping back and being accountable for our own healing journeys, also helps to liberate the whole and helps to set the whole free, because we are pulling our power back, reclaiming our power, and setting ourselves free from the ancient stories of victim victimizer um and the he said, she said, and really take being accountable for the experiences that we co-create with each other, and for the um, quality of interactions that we have with each other. And um, so I hope that this message comes to you. Um, um, as a blessing. Many of us are moving through a lot of things right now, and a lot of stuff is being purged and stirred up and purged. And so when we have these experiences of conflict, when we have these experiences um, where we are experiencing challenges with others or conflict with others, we're really being given an opportunity to go within, to hold ourselves in compassion, to allow ourselves to heal, because you are love. You are love. We are love. And through our oneness with God, we are love. God is love and love is God. And that is who you are. And so have been taught to search like outside ourselves for everything that we are within our own self. We've been taught to seek outside of ourselves love, but you are love. And many of us are healing that internal family system of the mother, the father, and the child. So it's that return to innocence and purity of the divine child. Like, it's that return to innocence and purity of the child that experiences their reality in utter safety and wisdom and wonder, wonder, um, that believes that anything is possible. We're returning back to that beautiful, innocent nature within our own selves, where we experience ourself and others in innocence and in purity, but also with the wisdom of our soul. And and so it's that inner wisdom that is returning, and that inner innocence and that purity. And through restoring this inner innocence and this inner purity, we're also healing that internal family system of the mother and the father and the child. And um, so be gentle with yourself through this process. When you experience moments of breakdown or breakthrough, breakdown, because these are the moments when you're breaking through the other side of that trauma, when you're letting that light in, the light of who you are, shine out from the cracks, from where you've been hurt, from where you've been wounded. And this is a sacred process. It's a sacred process to go through to have this conflict with our loved ones, because we're healing together. And it's moments of they're moments. These are opportunities of deep healing when we experience this conflict. And so, rather than shaming yourself, and rather than judging yourself, or shaming others and judging others, is it possible to take a higher perspective of grace and compassion and realize that we are all spiritual beings having a human experience, doing the best that we can? And we're healing our egos. We're learning that we are so much more than this identity that we have created for ourselves, or that has been created for us through our experiences that we've had. We are so much more than what society tells us we are, than the experiences that we have had have taught us that we are. We are so much more than our ego, and our ego loves to separate, and our ego loves to divide. And our soul is beckoning us. Our soul is calling us home to the remembrance of ourselves and our infinite nature and purity, and in love and in innocence, because that is who our soul is. And so our soul is one. Our soul is in recognition that we are one, that we are one with the divine, with God. We are one with all. We are one with everything. And so when you're in that place of oneness, there's no division. It's a unity. It's Christ consciousness. And so we're healing these egos that we've been created for ourselves and that we're letting go of. And that's hard. That's really difficult. It's challenging to let go of those egos. The ego wants to keep us safe, and the ego wants to have something to identify with. And the soul is limitless, and the soul um, is so beautiful, and in that place the soul comes from that place of oneness. And um and so the ego just wants to hold on, and so grant yourself compassion and grace as you move through these processes and these challenges in your life where you experience triggering, and perhaps you've thought, "Oh my god, I thought I was beyond this already. Like, I can't believe I'm experiencing this and having this experience. Like, what in the world?" It's okay. It's like, the spring cleaning, like getting rid of the cobwebs. Like, it's okay to cycle back around to things that you thought that you had processed through and cleared. Healing is not a linear process. We heal, um, cyclically. We heal, healing is like that sacred spiral journey, and we're unwinding ourselves and unraveling ourselves from all of this karmic debt. Karma is unhealed trauma. And karma follows us until we heal it. So we're clearing the layers, and we're restoring that oneness, that wholeness within ourselves, and being given a beautiful opportunity to free ourselves and to free each other. Because when I have cleared out my inner trauma and my inner wounding, then then the other is not going to have to trigger me. And I am not going to have to trigger the other because I'm not energetically charged and aligned to that dynamic within my life. So you see how this works, how important it is for us to do our inner work. And for me, that is the most important thing about being spiritual, is not putting the pressure on somebody that they have to look or be a certain way, but that we are owning our authenticity, we are speaking our truth, we are accountable for our actions, we are in ownership and recognition of our responsibility to do our inner work. And that means stepping out of the victim victimizer and getting connected with what it is that needs to be healed and let go of. And so a lot of us want to hold others to these, we have these ideas created for ourselves of what it means to be spiritual and what it means to be, a leader. And listen, no one is above anyone here. No one is greater or less than. We are all one. And I'm seeing like the image of a circle right now, because in that circle, there is no head, there is no greater than, there is no less than, there is only equality, and there's no guru. So when you're looking to others, and placing these expectations on them of what it means to be spiritual, and their role to teach you the truth, are you really standing in your power? Are you really coming from a place of your own inner truth? We discover our inner truth from within. If there was never, ever anything ever written about God, um, who God is, what God is, would you still know God? That's an important question to ask yourself. Like, how do you know what God is? How do you know who God is? And where can you find those answers? I believe that those answers come from deep within your heart. Because if there was never anything ever written about God, we could go within our heart and discover presence and discover love and discover peace and discover freedom, all right from within our heart space. And we discover that interconnection that we are with each other and with God. And so this illusion of separation is being healed right now. This illusion of being separate from each other is being healed. And and so when we catch ourselves holding ourselves in judgment, it's really important to ask ourselves, where was I taught to hold this judgment? Where did this judgment come from? When we're holding others in judgment, it's also usually an indication of something within us that needs to be recognized, seen, witnessed, and let go of. And I do believe it's important to hold people accountable. Accountability is important. We're going to mess up. We're going to goof up. We're going to have these experiences where we just we react instead of respond, and that's okay as long as awareness and accountability follows that. Holding each other to that accountability is important. Um and and I feel like that is you know part of holding a high level of integrity. And on this journey, I feel also that we are all leading each other home. Like, we are all walking each other home, and we're all doing it the best that we can. And we're all, as we're walking each other home, we're finding the courage to release the beliefs and uh, everything that we have been taught and picked up along the way that's not serving our highest and best good anymore. And that takes a lot of courage to step out and away from everything that you've always only ever known. And that includes letting go of your ego. That includes changing these behaviors and patterns that have been ingrained within you. It's a lot of work, but we are all here collectively doing this together and guiding each other home. And through tuning into the wisdom within our heart, we can see clearly from the heart, and we can feel clearly from the heart and tune into that resonance. Does this resonate with me? Yes or no? So we're not looking for the truth outside of ourselves. We are feeling and sensing the truth from within our heart. Does this feel true to me? Does it feel true to me that we are all here as one, healing and leading each other home? Yes, it feels as truth to me. And so I encourage you to be gentle with yourselves as we go through this deep, intensive clearing and purging that we are experiencing right now. And remember that when you are triggered, when you are experiencing moments of intense emotional uprising within you, it's because something within you is calling out to be healed. Your shadow, your ego, your wounded ego, your inner child. There's something within you that is asking to be loved, that is asking to be seen, that is asking to be witnessed. And that comes with a place of vulnerability. It's not easy to be vulnerable and share with another person how it is that we're feeling or how they made us feel, and come from a place of integrity and accountability in that sharing. And so, so you are worthy of sharing your vulnerability. You're worthy of being vulnerable, and you are worthy of being loved and accepted exactly as you are. We are all spiritual beings. All of us are spiritual beings having very human experiences. And we are all here guiding and leading each other home and doing the best that we can through this process. So I'm sending you so much love on this beautiful Independence Day. Through healing, we are liberating ourselves. We are setting each other free. We are here freedom is here now. There's a lot happening within our outer realities right now that are making us feel like things are just in a hopeless state. But this is a great dismantling that is happening so that we can rebuild again and co create what is in service to the highest and best good of all of us. Many of us all have the same desires for each other. Maybe we have different ideas on how to get there and how to arrive at this place of unity. And that's okay because our journeys don't all have to look alike, but we at the core of it all, I I feel that we all have the same desires and the same heartfelt wishes for everyone to be happy, to experience peace, to be loved and feel loved, and to live a fulfilling life. And so be gentle as, different things are falling away. Know that there is a purpose and a reason for everything that is happening right now. It's like a great purging within our own selves and within our exterior worlds. But that's just so that we can recreate what is in the highest and best good of all, and so that we can heal and really come into that embodied state of divine unconditional love for ourselves and for each other. And so that is my wish for you today on this Independence Day, that that you remember that through the embodiment of your authenticity, you are setting yourself free and others free, and that you are free to be yourself. You are free to express your soul's gifts. You are free to express your soul's wisdom. Like, you are free now to do that and to be in your authentic nature. And that does not have to look like anybody else's. There are so many people that hold themselves back or feel that they're unworthy to be in service or to do whatever it is that their heart and soul is calling them to do, because it's so much different than others, or it doesn't look like, there's this resistance to really stepping forward because of conditioning and things that we've been taught about ourselves that are simply not true. And so we're letting that go so that we can begin to express ourselves from a place of authenticity and begin to share, like, begin to align with our soul's purpose and our soul's reason for being here, because that's where the true fulfillment comes from, is really living our soul aligned life. And we can only get there through that divine recognition that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and through that accountability and that ownership of, of power in stepping out of the victimizer and really being truthful with our own selves about what is actually happening within us, through these moments of triggering. What actually is needing to be witnessed and seen and loved and let go of. Really stepping back from the mode of casting blame on others. And, well, if they didn't do this or didn't say that, then I wouldn't be feeling this way. No, no, no. The fact is, the truth of the matter is that something within has been stirred up and needs to be witnessed and let go of. And really just hold yourself, take that pressure off yourself to always get it right. We are learning as we grow. and that's a process. And so we're not always going to get it right. And that's okay. It's okay. That's where grace comes in. And so really giving yourself that grace and compassion, and holding yourself in compassion and holding others in grace. And through this process of holding ourselves in compassion and holding ourselves in grace, even if we have to return to this place over and over again, we are healing ourselves and we're healing each other. So we're able to embody that forgiveness. And that forgiveness and that compassion comes through the recognition that we're all in this together and we're all one. And we're all waking up and remembering who we truly are as limitless co-creators, like limitless creator beings that are love. Like we are love. We are the embodiment of Christ consciousness. We are the embodiment of love. We are the embodiment of God. We are one, and we are restoring oneness. We are restoring unity. And we're doing that collectively, but it starts as we do it individually. And so, so just sending you so much love on this Independence Day, and compassion and grace for your journey. Thank you.